let's go over the elephant in the room, and of course, the high yield for the high yield savings account, and that is the interest, of course. So right now, American Express is offering a 3.5% interest. Now, keep in mind that recently, a couple of days ago, as of the making of this video, the Federal Reserve is decreasing interest rates. They just decreased it by 25 points, aka 0.25%. So there's going to be a lot of high yield savings accounts that are going to start going down almost immediately. So this 3.5%, it's temporary. That's one of the things, one of the cons of high yield savings accounts. So I just want you to be aware and be mindful. So in a couple of weeks or in a couple of months, when you look at this rate, then it's going to go down. But don't worry, everybody's high yield or everybody's interest is actually going down. So just to give you some heads up there so you don't end up freaking out. Okay, so 3.5% right now for American Express. So that is, if you want to put it in numbers, so let's say that you have $10,000, then you would make in 1 year, assuming no further contributions, if you just have 10K, you let it sit for a year, you would end up with $350 in 12 months, right? So at the end of the period. Now, when it comes to account bonuses, if you're somebody that is interested in, hey, I want to maximize my new relationship with an organization. Now, American Express has great bonuses. In fact, I took advantage of them when it comes to credit cards. But when it comes to high yield savings accounts, they kind of come and go. I've seen some clients out there that share that they do get bonuses for signing up for the high yield savings. But when you go to their website, it's not publicly available, right? So it just really depends on who you are. Perhaps if you're an existing American Express customer. Personally, I've never gotten one, but I've seen people out there who do share their experience saying they were able to get, I don't know, a couple $100 for opening an account. So that's why I just want to make you aware of this. And who knows, maybe in the future, Amex will make that available to everybody else. So, of course, as any of the accounts that I talk about here in the channel, this account is FDIC insured up to $250,000. If you're somebody that wants more FDIC insurance, then you can add a joint account. You can add somebody else to your account. You want to have a joint account. If you want to increase your FDIC insurance to beyond $1 million to 1.25 million, then you can start adding beneficiaries and start dealing with trust. Or there are other banks out there that give you even higher FDIC if you have that much money, of course. So good for you, by the way, good for you. So minimum deposits and fees, it's completely free to use this account. So of course, that's a great perk to get started. Now, with this being said, here is a screenshot from the website offering the 3.5%. And of course, a couple of other benefits that this account does offer. So when it comes to account access, you might be wondering, okay, so how can I access my account? You can do it through your computer, through your laptop, your mobile. And also, if you open a rewards checking account with American Express, you would be able technically to access your high yield savings through an ATM. You would just have to transfer from your rewards checking, or excuse me, from your high yield to the rewards checking, and then you'll be able to use the ATM that way. There's a lot of banks out there that do give you this option to open a checking and then just make a couple of transfers. And there are a couple of banks that do allow you to have an ATM with a savings account, which is actually kind of cool. I've never seen that before, but more often than not, you have to open a rewards checking. So very standard right there. Now, when it comes to making deposits, if you want to make an excuse that you can't make a deposit, you can make it to the bank, you want to deposit cash, well, they make it very, very easy because you can do your regular bank transfer, your direct deposit. Like this is the best way, honestly, like direct deposit, the best way to start growing your savings right away. Automate your deposits. You can also mail checks, by the way. And of course, they do give you the very convenient mobile check deposit. So to me, right there, it makes it very convenient, very easy, and there's no excuse, right? There's no excuse to making deposits into your high yield savings account. Now, one more parameter that is very important to understand here is that if you're wondering, okay, so if I take money out of my account and I want to transfer it to my credit union or my third-party organization where I have another account, it takes approximately 1 to 2 business days. Though when I went into the website, they do mention that a lot of transfers do take 1 day, which is pretty, honestly, it's pretty fast. So overall, 1 to 3 business days is actually pretty good. That's pretty much standard for a lot of banks out there. Now, of course, needless to say, American Express does have a ton of other products out there: checking, savings, loans, lines of credits. They have credit cards, business banking. So as you can see here, this is a full banking organization, a full financial hub. And of course, needless to say, the amazing credit cards that they do have. Personally, actually, I do have the American Express Blue Class Preferred. I recently switched to another one, but I just want to let you know that it's an amazing credit card if you're somebody that buys a lot of groceries, if you have a lot of streaming services, if you use Uber, Lyft, gas, tolls. It's a really, really good one. So I suggest that you look into this one if you want to get cash back on your purchases that you already making. So with that being said, let's go over a couple of other features that I would care about in a high yield savings account. And that is the branding and the history, right? So originally, this bank was founded in Buffalo, New York in 1850. So to me, when an organization is this old, it doesn't have to be like over 100 years old, but like the longer you are in business, to me, it signals credibility, stability, good reputation. And I think that absolutely counts for everything. It gives you the warm and fuzzy feeling of confidence, trust, and familiarity. So let me know if that means anything to you. Now, another really cool feature about this American Express high yield savings account is that when it comes to withdrawal frequencies allowed per month, a lot of banks out there cap you at 6, 10. So American Express gives you unlimited times to withdraw from your high yield savings account, which is a really good option in case, who knows, maybe life happens, right? So maybe you want to withdraw more than 6 or 10 times in a month, which it's a little bit high based on what I've seen in my experience, but it's a good perk to have just in case you need it. So a couple of other reviews and scores from NerdWallet and Bankrate. So an average of 4.5, 4.25 right there, like 4.5. So it's actually pretty good. 4.5 out of 5. It's a 90, right? That's a 90 out of 100. So that's not too bad. It's actually pretty good. And they do have customer service available. Okay, so stop putting this together. We're going to go over the pros and the cons here. So when it comes to the pros for this organization, we got, hey, 3.5% APY. It got the branding, which gives me peace of mind, at least to me. Also, no minimum deposit, no monthly fees, FDIC insurance, and of course, a plethora of other services that you could take advantage of if you want to just have everything in one place, especially if you already have credit cards with American Express. Now, a couple of cons, of course, is that the APY could be higher if you compare this APY to maybe Fidelity cash management account or SoFi or maybe Barclays or CIT. This is kind of on the low end of high yield savings accounts, but still pretty good, right? It's still much better than regular banks out there like, what would you say, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, and other banks like that. Keep in mind, guys, that every financial organization has good and bad reviews, but the key is to identify what is relevant to you, how recent the reviews are, and whether or not you want to choose them anyways. There is no perfect organization. So the $1 million question, my friends, would I recommend American Express to my mom? So I would definitely recommend it to my mom if she already has, hey, she's looking for familiarity, trust, the branding, right? If she already has maybe Amex products and just wants to have everything there. Recently, I talked to a friend who chose a high yield savings account with an organization that didn't have the highest APY, but he was already in the ecosystem. He already had their credit cards. So he just decided to stay there with the company. So it's a good option to just extend the services that you need or want from one organization. Also, if mom is looking for a decent interest rate, maybe not the highest one, but hey, as I mentioned previously, it's also about the confidence and trust that you have in an organization. And also, who knows? Maybe she just wants to mail checks, right? Not all banks out there allow you to mail checks anymore. So that's certainly a good perk to have. Now, I would recommend this option to my mom if she wants to maximize her savings with the highest APY available out there. Maybe she wants more interest. There's definitely other competitors with similar features and higher APY. We're talking about SoFi, CIT, Barclays, the Fidelity Cash Management account. I'm actually going to leave a couple of links in the description for other options in case you want higher interest. So let me know if the American Express high yield savings account for you. If you are interested in opening an account with them, check the links in the description. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.